One day, New York City might have a skyscraper hanging upside down from an asteroid. No wonder. A square foot in New York costs over $800. So it feels like building in space instead of trying to squeeze in yet another skyscraper on Earth might be a more financially literate move. So, this wacky real estate concept is called Analemma Tower, and it comes from a New York-based architecture firm. They wanted to create something totally groundbreaking. And boy, did they succeed. Just picture this. Massive apartments hanging off an asteroid that only have one way in, through drones. There's a downside though. Pizza deliveries up there promises to be more expensive than it could be in Brooklyn. On the bright side, no burglar will sneak into your house through a window. Despite sounding like a plot from a sci-fi movie, this is a real proposal by Cloud's architecture office. They're convinced it could be done one day. They say we're moving away from Earth's surface and this skyscraper is the next step. Also, Analemma Tower is supposed to be the tallest building ever. So, how would this work? The asteroid orbits the Earth, so the Analemma skyscraper would always be on the move. Residents would use an electromagnetic elevator to move between space and Earth, plus solar panels for power and cloud water for all their needs. Sure, there are a few obstacles to work out, like keeping warm at the top and finding cables sturdy enough, but they're working on it. Living in a hanging skyscraper might not sound too appealing, unless you're an astronaut. But the idea is definitely unique. Plans for this bonkers building were released back in 2017, but let's be real, it's probably never gonna happen. Despite the hype online, the chances of seeing Analemma Tower in real life are pretty slim, so no one knows if it will ever actually get off the ground. While this skyscraper project may never be realized, there will soon be houses in space either way. NASA is now planning to build homes on the moon after more than 50 years since humans moonwalked. With over $70 million invested by NASA and the US Air Force, they're teaming up with Icon, a construction company, to create some futuristic homes on the moon by 2040. The architects are currently brainstorming designs using 3D printing technology, resulting in some pineapple-shaped homes loaded with high-tech gadgets. Someone definitely enjoyed SpongeBob, didn't they? NASA even plans to send a 3D printer to the moon to construct these homes layer by layer with specialized lunar concrete made from moon rock fragments, minerals, and dust. NASA representatives are confident that with the right team and technology, they can make this happen. The whole project is called Project Olympus, and it's gearing up to support longer stays on the moon. The construction could start within the next 20 years. There are many more other ambitious projects and ideas to be realized in the future. How about mining colonies on the moon, fancy hotels floating in space, and people playing sports out there amongst the stars? Some say that humans will even be growing expensive, hipster coffee beans in space. Launching people and stuff into space has gotten cheaper in recent years, but it might get even cheaper. Currently, you need to pay thousands of dollars just to send a couple of pounds in space. However, by 2040, prices might drop to tens of dollars instead of thousands. Money wouldn't be the main obstacle standing in the way of more space-related economic growth. Remember the gold rush of the 19th century? The thing is, there's the gold rush of the 21st century too, but this time, humans are planning to mine asteroids and the moon, and it kicks off within the next 10 years. This could lead to the need for all sorts of services like transportation and repairs in space. And hey, why stop there? Let's build some factories up there too. Think about it, no air pollution to worry about. Now, for all this work in space, we'll need some serious source of energy. That's where space-based solar farms come in. The US and a few other countries are already on it, figuring out how to generate clean energy up there and beam it down to Earth with microwaves or lasers. But let's not forget about the people aspect. With all this mining, factory building, and even space tourism, no matter how insane it sounds in 2024, we'll need more folks spending more time out there. Space hotels could be a thing in a few decades. But before checking in a space hotel, you're supposed to travel somehow, right? Yeah, there may not be too many spaceships available like Uber, but we're just in 2024. As for space transportation, some scientists think it's going to be a piece of cake. 3D printing is seriously cool and super futuristic, with endless possibilities on the horizon. Right now, we can even print flexible electronics for things like cell phones. They're cheaper, lighter, and easier to make. NASA's Jet Propulsion Lab has a wild idea that we might be able to print a whole spacecraft one day. Oh, but it's already happened. In March 2023, scientists launched the first rocket made entirely from 3D printed parts. The dimensions are quite impressive for something that came out of a literal printer. It stands at 100 feet tall and 7.5 feet wide. The rocket used special copper alloy engines that can withstand temperatures of up to 6,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Thanks to NASA's GRC OP alloys developed for high-performance rocket engines. These alloys are made using methods like laser powder bed fusion and directed energy deposition. NASA is sharing its alloy expertise with companies like Relativity Space through projects like RAMPed, paving the way for future space missions to the Moon and Mars. Imagine some far-off future. You could have a printer with you and whip up probes or craft wherever you need them. And don't be surprised if you see movies being filmed in space or extreme sports taking place up there. Even space agriculture could become a big deal, not just for supporting mining colonies and factories on the Moon, but for creating cool products, like that space-grown coffee to sell back on Earth. Of course, cost and safety are big concerns when it comes to space travel. It's got to be reliable and not too risky. Plus, there's all that legal and regulatory stuff. It needs to be ironed out. But these are just speculations. We need to figure out how to do that all. So, there's Lockheed Martin, a leading aerospace company, and these guys are all about looking ahead to the future of space missions. They're diving deep into cool technologies like artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and nuclear power. In their project, Destination Space 2050, their brightest minds are brainstorming how AI could help out in tricky situations where normal communication just won't cut it. For example, it could help navigate unknown territories where your average Google Maps would get instantly lost. AI isn't just for fun and games, though. This tech wizardry can also help with processing data from tons of satellites, making sense of heaps of information that would take ages for people to process. With AI on board, the possibilities for space exploration are endless. Lockheed Martin is also looking into quantum computing and nuclear power. Imagine quantum algorithms doing their magic in space, making everything super speedy and efficient. For some time, they've been testing out quantum technology that's speeding up processing and squeezing in more data per photon. This means their satellites can gather and process even more info at higher speeds, all the while using less power. Lunar commercial opportunities will be quite vast too. By 2050, we could be seeing regular trips to the Moon and back, delivering goods and people like it's no big deal. But to make all these dreams become a reality, new tech infrastructure in space will be a must. Lockheed Martin is shooting for the stars with their Space 2050 vision. The time frame is pretty long, but there are a lot of things yet to be done.
That's it for today. So hey, if you pacified your curiosity, then give the video a like and share it with your friends. Or if you want more, just click on these videos and stay on the bright side.